First up, we got West Virginia at Houston. Houston's a 2.5-point favorite. Over under is 51.5. This is a big game for both programs. West Virginia is having a magical 4-1 season, while Houston's looking for its first Big 12 win. West Virginia has beaten both Big 12 opponents that Houston has lost to, which is TCU and Texas Tech. I don't understand how Houston's a 2.5-point favorite, other than the pure fact that it's at home. But playing at Houston really isn't that much of a home field advantage. So, Josh, I'll take this one first. I'm taking West Virginia here.
And honestly, I'm taking West Virginia by so much that I would be breaking Vegas right now because I'm probably taking them by like 8. Honestly, like I don't. There's nothing about Houston scares me if I'm West Virginia. I mean, coming into the season, West Virginia never thought they'd be right here, but at the same time,
This is my lock of the week. Like
oh
this,
yeah,
this game right here is my lock of the week. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm a terrible gambler, but nothing here makes sense. The math does not add up. West Virginia plus 2.5. Take the money, run straight to the bank.
Josh Pate has his ramen noodle express. You know, ramen's like $1, right? It's not that much. This is my hamburger helper express. Okay, I'm talking. You're not only gonna get the mix, which has gone up astronomically. I looked at that at the store the other day, and that's crazy. But you're also gonna be able to buy a whole pound of beef. Okay, I'm telling you, this is my lock. Like there's no question.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like the lock of the week. Like this has to be the lock of the week. West Virginia plus 2.5, and honestly, take the over also. All right, what do we got next? Tulane plus 3.5 at Memphis. Memphis is good, man. Um, this is probably the biggest game of for the American this week. Both teams 4-1. Tulane lost to Ole Miss by 17. That Ole Miss game though was a lot closer than the loss by 17. They were in that game for a long time. It got really bad late, but like that game should have only been by a touchdown, maybe. They started selling out in garbage time trying to make a play and I believe had a bad interception late in the game and Ole Miss maybe returned it or something like that. But they didn't lose by 17 points. That score looked worse than what it actually was. Memphis lost. I mean, Missouri's good. Memphis lost to Missouri by 7. Um, is Memphis really the team to beat in the American, or does Tulane keep their crown? This is at Memphis. I'm gonna go. What time is this game? Do you know?
Dude, I think it's a later game. I think it's a later game. Uh,
Let's see. ESPN. I think that game. I think that game's like one of the like
it's a
prime time games.
7:30.
Yeah, I
Seven
was about
thirty
to
on
say
Friday. It's on Friday.
on Friday. Ooh,
Seven
that
thirty
changed
on
it.
Friday. That's a Friday. Yeah, that changes it. Now I gotta see something.
All right. In that case, uh, Michael Pratt's back too, right?
Yeah, he's been back,
All right. Yeah, give me Tulane.
and Tulane's coming off of a bye.
Yeah,
Tulane is coming off of a bye.
Tulane. Give me Tulane. I mean,
But so is Memphis.
maybe they lose by a field goal, but if so, if we're taking to cover, I'm taking Tulane to cover. I think that they could very well win this game outright, but Tulane's gonna cover. So if Memphis wins, they're gonna win by a field goal.
Okay.
Over under 56.5. I'm also taking the over in this game. Friday night games get weird, and I don't know. Memphis, their fan base still doesn't show out. Even when they're good, they don't show out. Sorry about it. Um, Your take?
You're taking Tulane. I'm taking Memphis, honestly, because I want Memphis to make this the year. I want them to make this the year that they get over that hump and get back to the top. Like UTSA came in here thinking, I mean, I don't even know what they actually probably thought. I mean, they had all the pieces to run it back in a brand new conference, but they just haven't been as strong. Um, Tulane has looked pretty strong so far, but honestly, I think Memphis, if they can put it all together, because all their games have been close versus competition that's not the same. So I think if they can put it all together, as close as they were against Missouri, was as close as they were against uh, Navy. So they're obviously getting better. And I think if they could just pop it over the top for this game and open it up, I think it'll be a pretty easy game for them. I think it'll be a pretty easy game for them. So I'm taking Memphis, and I'm taking them to cover. I'm taking
Okay.
them to cover. I'm taking like maybe win by a touchdown.
Okay.
Their
I
defense holds up.
respect it. I respect it. I just feel like if it was on a Saturday, I could see it. But the Friday night thing just makes me feel like it's a Tulane game.
They're both coming off buys. They're both coming off buys.
mm,
And the last time out was Memphis's first loss against Missouri. So that I mean they're probably looking to come back and show who they are.
I still just think Tulane's the best group of 5 team in the country. I just they, Tulane should still be ranked, if you ask me. Tulane's a top 20 team in the country. Sorry about it. They lost to Ole Miss. And yeah, the score was 34-17 or something like that, but that game was a lot closer than the score said it was. All right. Moving on. Georgia Southern at JMU -3.5. Over unders 58.5. Major game for the Sun Belt. James Madison can solidify themselves as the new king without a crown of the Sun Belt with a statement win against Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern's 4-1, while JMU's 5-0. JMU, I mean, you say they could beat half of the bowl contenders in the G5, but I think they could beat damn near anyone in the group of 5 right now. Probably a lot of teams in the Power 5. This is at JMU. Crazy. That's a crazy place. Yeah. Give me JMU by a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple to say. Like, I'm riding the train with JMU at this point. Like there's no need to get off. I mean, Coastal Carolina had a run, got off that train. Liberty had a little run, got off that train. This JMU train is I don't think it's stopping. I think they could be like how App State came into the FBS and just went what 6 straight ball games I think it was that they went 2-1. Like I think that's the JMU story right now. I think that's the JMU story.
For sure. Over under is 58.5. Honestly, don't know enough about these offenses. I do
Taking
know
under.
I yeah. I'm gonna take the under here. Just because I don't know enough about the offenses. I probably wouldn't bet over under. That's a bet I typically don't like to make. I typically like money line or bet the spread. But all right. All right. Florida at South Carolina. Not as big of a game for the SEC East as the teams thought it would be, but will be very competitive. Florida's 4-2 with a quality win over Tennessee, but a pretty bad loss to Kentucky, and South Carolina's 2-3, but can't get out of their own way, right? So South Carolina lost 41-20 last week, looking to bounce back against this quality Florida team. The Gamecocks are a 2-point favorite here, and I think Florida wins this game. I'm not sold on South Carolina. Maybe Shane Beamer would be a good replacement for Mike Houston in a year, but I don't know. After they both get canned. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you're completely right. I think Billy Napier is about to start putting the pieces together a little bit better, and as a head coach at this level, and I think Shane Beamer, his personality is his football team. It's just so inconsistent, but it's so just jittery. It's everywhere. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't think South Carolina's gonna put it together. I just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 3:30 kickoff. It's a 3:30 kickoff. Florida, South Carolina. This game needs to be a 7 o'clock game. Like this is a prime time game, but it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Go Gators. I think Florida wins this game. And I wouldn't be surprised if they won this game by 10, if not more. So all right.
And even though I agree with that, I'm still taking the under on 51.5.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
Florida wins by 10, I mean it's still.
Yeah. I would agree. All right. SMU at East Carolina. Over unders 51. ECU plus 12. 12-point dog. SMU's looking to make November 18 the de facto American championship game against Memphis by rolling through the rest of the American. Both teams are coming off bye weeks and will be well rested for this game. ECU looks to send SMU to the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC, with a loss. Oh, I don't think I've ever. I can't remember last time I picked ECU not to cover the spread, but I'm gonna do it right here because I don't see, and maybe I am wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see how this team can score enough points to cover the spread. I'm not worried about the defense, but I don't see how this team can score enough. Knowing what we know about this red zone offense, knowing what we know about this offense, to really keep it close. Now they may keep it close through the first like half a quarter, right? But I think by 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, SMU starts to pull away. I mean, I've seen it enough with this ECU team. I think ECU loses by 3 touchdowns.
I feel like maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic when it comes to ECU football because I'm taking ECU to cover, not to win
That's
the
not what you
game.
told me before we recorded.
Right, it's not. But I thought about it because I heard Billy. I
Billy.
heard Billy and Body. Okay, I heard that man talk about that offense just not hitting on all cylinders. And the way in it, one thing that stood out to me with the interview is he talked about them. He said they have to run the ball this game. You're not running the ball against ECU's defense. If you feel like you have to run the ball this game because your offensive pass game is not clicking, okay, you're not. You're going to be slowed down by the ECU run defense, and yeah, you're probably going to pop one or two over the top on us because we're going to be aggressive against the or against the run. But I think ECU is going to also. I think over this bye week, this may be just a prayer that's burning up. Just burning up. Uh, Maybe over the bye week, one of the quarterbacks just went crazy. It got underneath his feet. Some Austin Hour, right? Tight ends coach is now might be calling some plays at practice. I don't know. I don't have any intel. I'm just saying. Think about like if they just went somebody new, give it a couple of play calls, just to see how it felt over the bye week. This could be a totally different team because I don't think that the playbook. I don't think the playbook is limited enough. I think the play calls were limited enough that
Yeah,
it's stopping us from being great.
I would agree with that. But knowing what I know about the relationship between Donnie Kirkpatrick and Mike Houston, I just don't know if I believe that it'll happen. Look, I really hope that I'm wrong. But I've seen enough from ECU football this year to say like this is honestly probably I feel like this is some of the worst football that we've had. This is probably the worst football we've played in a decade. Like no, this team this offense just looks terrible. And I don't know, from the play calling to the drop passes to the offensive line to quarterback ineptitude at times. I don't know. Someone's got to change. To me, someone's got to change, and I don't know. I really hope, like Josh, maybe it's just I'm pessimistic about what I've seen so far. I'm really hoping that you're right. I am praying that you are right on this, because I don't know if I can sit through another game where it's the same play calling and the same poor decision making for ECU on offense. So I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. But I got to see it to believe it. If ECU goes out and proves me wrong, great. And if they do that, I'll be singing a different tune next week, I'm sure. But right now, I'm going off of what I've seen, and what I've seen is this offense doesn't make adjustments. They don't make adjustments at halftime. They don't make adjustments mid-game. They don't make adjustments after a bye week. They just do what they do. That's maybe that, like I said, maybe that's just the pessimist in me.